Thank you very much. Again, yes, my topic today is obviously about AI use and how students are using it to support their studies, but stressing the fact that this support needs not to be a crutch, but rather a copilot. And yes, welcome everyone to the age of AI. We've all witnessed the rise of AI tools and how this tools, especially ChatGPT, very lately has been increasingly used by students in especially also in business and management schools in our experience. But the problem so far is that this use is not all the best is this use is yet passive use. And the students are often using it passively to produce ready-made answers to their tasks, to their homework, to their exams that as professors are asking or in essays and so on. And they are not using it as a learning tool or as a companion for critical thinking, and especially also not for brainstorming. Why this is a problem? Well, obviously, students are using also are using AI tools and ChatGPT also as a searching engine, which is not necessarily bad, but rather it's is using they are avoiding to do critical analysis. So they are using it either to understand concepts easily, or like get answers like in to questions, what's XYZ theory, or provide me a list of some empirical resources on this topic, or avoiding analytics questions like what's the difference between A and B concepts, which is often used in exams or homework or essay assignments. And what we see often, also in my experience here at S Next, is that often students produce AI written assignments which have identical or near identical structure and a generic language, which means they are um, uh, uh, not presenting the student's voice, the unique student's voice of our diverse students body. We are an international student school, so basically our students do come from all different nationalities. Thus, we would have expected that the language is even more diverse and the experiences are more diverse. Yet we are not seeing that so much, and especially we're also missing real life examples in this assignments. Furthermore, the use of AI tools is also as grammar and language enhancement, which is again not wrong per se. It's rather too simple. So my observations in my experience at Steinbeis is observed that the questions that the students are using AI to produce answers to the questions, while we also allow it to be used in papers. We do ask for transparency in the prompts used. What happens is that students do not report consistently AI use, and the prompts that they present or report are not detailed, which doesn't help us in this case understand whether the prompt is wrong or like not used, not designed properly, or is just as simple as it is. So what I did is for this presentation to share with you, I collected the reports from the thesis of the past cohort of Business and Organizational Psychology Master of Arts class 25, which among 30 students or 30 submitted theses, 8 students, you can see at the end of the first chart to the left, 8 students didn't report any use of AI, which we're skeptical about. The rest reported different tools, all of them 100% used at least one tool, and the vast majority of them used ChatGPT and Grammarly. Now, while Grammarly serves a narrow purpose, ChatGPT is used for more for different purposes. They're using it for language enhancement as in a majority, but they're also using it to understand concepts and statistics. There have been prompts reported where students says, provide an explanation of this regression analysis or help me understand this statistical inferential analysis. And there's also been prompts that report production of text and analysis. Like students have reported prompts that say, please provide recommendations on based on this data or conclusions based on this data. Now, because these prompts are not detailed enough, we are not able to assess the prompts, but based on the evaluation of the thesis itself, what we see is that the recommendations or the conclusions or like other sections of the content are quite generic and not tailored to the content, thus assuming now that the prompt is not complicated or detailed enough. This matters to me, to us, because used well, AI can actually support learning through exploration, reflection, and iteration, and it has the potential to enhance learning through feedback, scaffolding, and ideation. But used passively as a crutch, it does provide shortcuts. It doesn't support critical thinking and reflections, and it provides superficial outputs that can lead to surface learning. And this way, we are risking students losing the ability to engage deeply with the content. So to think and to actually learn, they are basically bypassing thinking. While as a copilot, used as a copilot, AI can support exploration of ideas more freely, generating multiple perspectives, surfacing new connections, and breaking through creative blocks. When used thoughtfully, it can also encourage reflection, prompting users to evaluate their assumptions, compare alternatives, and deepen their understanding. It does enable iteration. AI does allow rapid drafting, testing, and revision of ideas. Like whether a person is drafting a text, analyzing data, or designing a strategy, this iterative feedback loop fosters a mindset of experimentation and continuous improvement. But key here is that the students need a dialogue with AI, and they cannot just copy and paste outputs, which we often see. Thus, in my opinion, this is not a technical problem. This is not a misuse of technology. This is rather a missed pedagogical opportunity. Students aren't misusing AI. They are just not taught how to use it well. It is therefore that my recommendation is obviously, you will hear me say, instead of banning AI, we should teach students how to use AI, when to use it, how to question its outputs, how to integrate it in the thinking process, how to promote active, mindful use through prompting, critiquing, and iterating. So we need to make students aware that they need to shift from passive to active engagement. Instructors, we can actually help support this active use by teaching students how to prompt AI to explain complex concepts, to brainstorm and to evaluate ideas, how to draft and reflect on feedback, asking AI to challenge or critique ideas and evaluate alternatives. Comparing perspectives also, or rephrasing complex ideas is important, and certainly reflecting again on these alternatives. Key, dialogue, not delegation. What happens, and what we should also remember is the importance of owning this AI use. Students should act like project owners, not outsource the project to AI. Students must cross-check facts. They need to use predict to predict analysis, so they can use AI to predict analysis, of course, and they can also and should use AI as an investor or as a consultant, and obviously follow up and question all the suggestions that AI provide. But the final decisions remain with the students themselves. So practically, what can we do? We can design assignments. We should start by changing the way that we ask students the questions or the assignments. We need to design assignments that are deeper and maybe even layered, that require more personal insights and reflection, and applied elements. So these real life use and experience. And we need also to include collaborative or in-class components that AI cannot replace, like, for instance, group work, and certainly also simulations that AI cannot fake. And finally, we also need to require process transparency. We need documentation. We need to ask students, how did they use the AI tools? Thus, in conclusion, I would like to share that we should change our paradigm from policing to guiding. Instead of asking, did you use AI? We should ask, how did you use AI? The key is not banning, the key is training to support the use of AI at full potential, and also assess this use. In this level, we can also raise the bar. Now things are made much easier. Thus, we can focus in the logic and applicability and in the discussion. What I mean with this is, obviously we don't need to keep the Ferrari in the garage. We need to teach students how to drive well and enjoy the ride safely. This is also a call for us to rethink AI in learning. AI isn't going anywhere, and neither is the need for deep learning. Whether AI enriches or dilutes education, that depends completely on us. And the goal is to teach students to treat AI as a copilot, not as a crutch. And this means we need to think our role as educators. What, instead of asking students not to use AI, we taught them actually how to use it wisely. And I want to finalize my talk by saying, stating that AI in education isn't a threat, as some of us might think, but it is a tool, but only if the students are taught to steer it wisely.